Everyone thinks Florida is paradise. But what if I told you some of the most dangerous, most expensive, and most stressful places to live in America are right here in the Sunshine State? Today we're breaking down the 5 worst places to live in Florida.
Behind the palm trees and postcard beaches, 5 cities struggle with crime rates. That might make you think twice about your Florida dream. Today, we're exploring the 5 worst places to live in Florida based on the latest data. Florida City. You're cruising toward the Florida Keys or rolling into Everglades National Park, feeling that vacation buzz. Then you pass through Florida City. It's a tiny place with barely 12,000 people. At first glance, it looks like just another stop on the way to somewhere better. But here's what you probably won't notice. This small town has the highest violent crime rate in all of Florida. Let's talk numbers. For every 100,000 people, there are 2,290 violent crimes. That's more than 6 times the national average. Your chances of becoming a victim? About 57%. And property crime is even worse. 1 out of every 14 people gets hit. So what's going on? Poverty is off the charts. Police resources are stretched thin, and the city sits directly along major drug trafficking routes. That mix has turned Florida City into a hotspot for carjackings, not exactly a claim to fame. Would you feel safe walking around after dark? Most locals don't. Robberies and severe assaults have been climbing steadily, despite being the gateway to some of Florida's most beautiful destinations. Crime overshadows everything here. Florida City stands as the most dangerous spot on the map. Lake City. Now let's head north to Columbia County. This is Lake City, home to roughly 12,500 people. And to be honest, things are tough here. The violent crime rate sits at 1,537 incidents per 100,000 people. That's not only among the worst in Florida, it's one of the worst in the entire country. And this isn't just about statistics. Recent months have been brutal. A mass shooting at Annie Maddox Park, multiple shootings across the city, even a deadly ATV crash. The violence feels constant. In Lake City, your risk of becoming a victim of violent crime is nearly 4 times higher than the rest of Florida. So imagine living there. What do you do when danger feels like it's always around the corner? The local economy doesn't help. High poverty and high unemployment leave the door wide open for crime. Property crime is another concern. People live with constant anxiety about their homes and belongings. Yes, Lake City has a lower cost of living, but in exchange, residents give up something priceless: feeling safe. Belle Glade. Just south of Lake Okeechobee sits Belle Glade. It's a small agricultural city with about 16,700 residents, and it's plagued by serious crime. The overall crime rate here is 3,700 crimes per 100,000 people. That's more than double the state average. Violent crime alone sits at 1,310 per 100,000. That's 4 times higher than the rest of Florida. Let that sink in. Crime here isn't an occasional problem. It's part of everyday life. PBS even documented the situation in Murder of a Small Town, showing how Belle Glade spiraled into high unemployment, drug abuse, and rising violence. This isn't Hollywood drama. It's real life. Back in 2003, Belle Glade had the 2nd highest violent crime rate in the entire United States. By 2010, police reported that about half of young men between 18 and 25 had felony convictions. Imagine growing up in that environment. When crime becomes normal and cycles through generations, recovery is incredibly hard. Most jobs here are seasonal field work. When the work stops, so does hope. Poverty feeds crime. Crime feeds poverty, and the cycle continues. That's why Belle Glade remains one of Florida's most troubled cities. Pahokee. Next up is Pahokee, right on the shores of Lake Okeechobee. About 5,500 people live here, and life isn't easy. Nearly 1/3 of residents live in poverty. Unemployment sits at a staggering 23%, the highest in Florida. Median household income barely reaches $36,000. A quarter of the workforce can't find a job. And for those who do, the pay rarely stretches far enough. Crime rates remain high. High school dropout rates are among the worst in the state. It's hard not to wonder what kind of future young people see here. And yet, the surroundings are stunning. Fishing, boating, camping, lakefront trails, At Pahokee State Park, the beauty is undeniable, but the contrast makes reality hit harder. Jobs appear and disappear. With the harvest, stable employment is rare, there are few parks, and even fewer places to unwind. People are proud of their history and their culture, but pride alone can't keep a town afloat. Many families eventually leave searching for something better elsewhere. Opa-locka. Last on the list is Opa-locka, located in Miami-Dade County. This city was once known for its Moorish Revival architecture, storybook-style buildings that gave it a unique identity. Today, the picture is very different. Crime here is sky-high, the second worst in Florida. Nearly half the population lives below the poverty line. Most households survive on just over $30,000 a year, which is shockingly low for South Florida. Walk through the city, and you'll mostly see fast food spots, discount stores, and gas stations. Those historic buildings, many are crumbling. Opa-locka has lost much of its charm and almost all of its tourist appeal. Years of neglect leave scars. Roads crack, buildings decay. Public spaces fall apart. Schools struggle too often, ranking below state averages, and that keeps the cycle of poverty spinning. Life here isn't easy. Families scrape by. Affordable housing is hard to find. Basic services can feel out of reach. Decades of poor leadership haven't helped. The one advantage? Miami is close. Residents can escape briefly to places like Dolphin Mall or Zoo Miami, but for many, it's only a temporary break from daily hardship. If you learned something new from this video, hit that like button. Tell us in the comments whether you have been to any of these cities. What was it like? And hey, if you want more stories about America's toughest and most fascinating spots, subscribe and tap that bell so you're always in the loop.